The reality is that all the magazines out there will help you get close to 60 to 70% of the current affairs questions. But what do you do for the rest 25% or the 30%? Can you read one more magazine just to get the 30%? No. Then you will be wasting a significant lot of time for the next 20%. Good day everyone, Sreejay here. Before going into the topic of the session and you know what the session is about, let me ask you a very simple question. How many hours have you invested in your 2025 attempt for improving or studying your current affairs? Did you spend close to 2 hours in a day, 1 hour in a day, or even half an hour in a day, or you spend like 4 to 5 hours in the weekend? Now, this is one of the most fundamental mistake that all of you make. The fundamental mistake is that you rarely focus on the current affairs. Now, why is it a fundamental mistake? For the fact that if you check the 2024, 2025 or even 2023 paper, close to 30 above percentage of the questions have come from current affairs. Especially in 2025, close to 36 questions have come from the current affairs. Now, think for yourself. Are you studying enough to get that 36 percentage? What does a usual aspirant do? They spend close to 90% of your time study Lakshmikant, Nitin Singania, Spectrum and all the other standard books out there, and they hardly spend any time for the current affairs, right? This is one mistake that you have to avoid in order to clear the 2026 prelims. You have to make sure that you spend significant amount of time for your current affairs to get that 30 to 40% of the questions in which UPSC usually asks. Now, if I am to show you the proof regarding the same for 2025 prelims, you can see here that the 2 sports question has come, bookish question and also the Coco question. And you can see here the international relations question, BRICS, AI, technology, Gandhi Prize, National Restoration Law, SPADEX, space missions, defense, international relations. UPSC have asked close to 36 questions in the 2025 prelims. Now, as I said before, how do you close this loop is the most important question here, right? Now, what does usually an aspirant do? Or before going to that, you can see here, these are the major areas in which UPSC usually focus on the current affairs. Be it the schemes, mission policies, bill, acts, laws, key reports, international organizations, protected areas, coming on to the sports. These are the crucial areas that you need to focus because these are the areas in which UPSC usually asks the current affairs questions. Now, what does an usual aspirant do? They just read one monthly magazine, right? Now, all of you must be planning the same, right? You must be planning upon reading the Samachar Manthan or the Vision magazine, or you must be waiting for the Vision 365 or even the Samachar Manthan annual compilation or our atomic notes. Now, let me ask you, would reading a single magazine help you get all the 36 or even 35 questions asked by UPSC? No. The reality is that all the magazines out there will help you get close to 60 to 70% of the current affairs questions. But what do you do for the rest 25% or the 30%? Can you read one more magazine just to get the 30%? No. Then you will be wasting a significant lot of time for the next 20%. Can you read, let's say you are reading Hindu Abhi, can you read the Indian Express as well to just get that 10% extra information? No. Now, what is the solution to this crisis? You cannot watch any other lecture, you cannot read one more magazine, or you cannot read any other newspaper. So how do you solve this crisis? This crisis is solved by attempting more number of tests, right? So where do you get the extra 25% or 30% of the information? You will get through the test. So what is that one thing that you have to ensure when you take a test series? You have to go for that test series which will give you the maximum number of current affairs questions, right? If the test series does not contain enough number of current affairs questions, now how will you solve the crisis? You will just still be left with 70% information that you got from your current affairs, right? That is why Dominate closes this loop. Because as all of you know, we have both daily test and we have a weekly test, right? In the daily test of 50 questions, 10 questions are asked from the current affairs. And also, in the weekly test of 100 questions that we have on every Sunday, 25 to 30 questions also come from the current affairs. So, how many current affairs information or how many questions are you being practiced in a single week for current affairs? It's actually 75 to 80 questions. So, what do you need to do? You need to read the Samachar Manthan magazine, which will give you close to 75% of the information, but it will not suffice. But by taking our test series, you will be able to get the extra 25 to 30% of the information, which will actually help you to clear, or which will actually help you to attempt all the current affairs questions out there. So this is how Dominate closes the loops. As I said, we'll be asking you 75 to 80% of the current affairs questions as well. But one most important thing is that we have 40 hours of revision classes, which starts from the 16th March. The first two classes are not related to current affairs. It's related to the most important micro themes in ancient and medieval history. That is the ancient and medieval sites, and also the chronology of ancient medieval history. But what about the rest of the 36 hours of lecture? As you can see here, it's history current affairs, polity to current affairs, geography location in news, that is the current affairs portion, environment science in news, species in news, economic survey and budgeting. What about the others? Government schemes and initiative news, infrastructure, agriculture in news, current affairs of science and technology, conflict in news, organization news, sports, and also important news related to agriculture. So apart from the 75 to 80 questions that you will test in a single day, you will also have access to 36 hours of current affairs lectures as well. Now, what does it solve? We will ensure that we will cover all the current affairs out there from January 2025 to April 2026 as well. So you can ensure that you don't need a significant amount of sources out there. You just need one monthly magazine, that is our Samachar Manthan, and one Dominate Prelims as well. Because in Dominate, we'll be providing you questions related to current affairs, 80 questions in a week, and also 36 hours of current affairs lectures as well. Now that is how you actually close the current affairs loop. So do join Dominate. You can see the QR code. You can see the number here. So our December 15 batch is live and running. You can join the same and we can have the orientation as well. Thank you.